Hello, and welcome to A Word of Hope. I'm Brother Joe Trout, coming to you for Friday of the 31st week in Ordinary Time. Let me start with a question for you today. Why do you want to be healthy? Healthy in body, healthy in mind, healthy in spirit. Why? Now, it feels like it should be a fairly simple and obvious question, but this actually was debated amongst the Greek philosophers. They used to ask themselves, they would phrase it differently, but in a way, which is more important, justice or temperance? Do we go about our lives seeking this top goal of having an inner sense of tranquility and well-being, that we do all of these things so that we are well? Or do we try to be well so that we can go about living meaningful lives? Which one is the top priority in life? Now, the Christian tradition has come down heavily on the side of, justice is way more important than temperance. That, why do we care about a healthy life and having balance and moderation and all these different things? So that we can live, so that we can be good contributors to society, that we can have good relationships, right? But Paul is diving into this dynamic today with the Philippians, that he says, some people have made themselves into enemies of the cross, and that we ought to live imitating him, grounded totally in the death and resurrection of Christ. I think it's important to take from this that he thinks the way we live, what we live for, ought to be filtering into everything that we do. That the radicality of the death and resurrection of Christ isn't just, an aspect of our faith. It's the thing that animates all of the other choices that we're making in life. That in the midst of a pandemic, as we're talking about, the desire to, protect and preserve life, that's very important. But life for what? What kind of a life? For Paul, we have to be living focused on the resurrected Christ, the new body, the new world to come, the life of kind of a total love and self-sacrifice as Christ did, that this is what ought to motivate us. St. Augustine put this, that, we'll know that we have this virtue of temperance, of fasting, when it's easy to give up physical pleasures, when we can easily let go of things, because they're just not the most important part of our lives. And I think, this is a good question for us today as we, wonder about a lot of political things. We wonder about our relationship between faith and church and all of the tiny day-to-day decisions of life. What is it that's driving me? Is life in Christ, his death, the hope of a world to come beyond the troubles and turmoils of this life? Is that the thing that everything else revolves around? Because if not, we've made ourselves enemies of the cross too. So what is it today? Do I live for Christ, or do I just kind of want to have Christ in my life so that I keep living? Which is it? Thank you and God bless.